10 of ancient Earth's most unbelievable prehistoric animals are thousands to millions of years. These massive creatures stalked Earth at its dawn until climate shifts or ancient humans sped up their extinction. Prehistoric creatures once freely wandered and governed planet Earth. Some of them, like the giant sloth or the woolly rhino, were generally gentle. Others, like the saber-toothed tiger and the dire wolves, dominated their environment with their size and fearsome fangs. For millions of years, these ancient animals stalked through grasslands, climbed trees in the jungle, and chased prey into tar pits. Though vastly different, they all died out in similar ways due to changing climates, poaching, or disease. Today, they exist as just a whisper of their former might. A bone here, a tooth there. But in their prime, these prehistoric animals would have struck fear and awe in early humans. Glyptodon, between 5.3 million and 11,700 years ago, a peculiar creature called the Glyptodon, meaning grooved tooth, walked the earth, 10 feet long and weighing as much as 4,000 pounds. This giant armadillo existed in present-day North and South America. Though the Glyptodon had a powerful tail and an armored back made of 1,000 bony plates, it likely lived a fairly peaceful existence. As an herbivore, it mostly ate grass and didn't have to worry about any bloody tussles over game. That said, the Glyptodon could defend itself even against other Glyptodons if need be. Its powerful tail could crush a human skull, and its shell-like back offered a strong defense. Based on the damage found on Glyptodon shell fossils, scientists believe that the beasts often fought each other. To settle disputes over territory or mates, they'd pummel their opponent's shell with their strong tail. But this ancient animal often had to contend with humans, too. Early hunters likely stalked the Glyptodon for its meat and shell. To kill it, however, they had to turn it on its back, no small task, and spear its soft underbelly. Researchers first discovered the Glyptodon in 1823, when Uruguayan naturalist Damaso Antonio Larrinaga came across a giant femur. The bone weighed about 7 pounds and stretched 6 to 8 inches long. Most believed, however, that he'd found the bones of a giant sloth called Megatherium. Further discoveries convinced scientists that they were dealing with a different prehistoric animal, however, and biologist Richard Owen dubbed it a Glyptodon because of its curved teeth. The reign of the Glyptodon came to an end shortly after the last ice age. Climate change and aggressive human hunting drove the giant armadillo into extinction. Giant ground sloth. Giant ground sloths were really big sloths that lived long ago when it was very cold. They were a bit like the sloths we see today, but much larger. They liked to eat plants, like leaves and fruits. They had long, strong arms with big claws that they used for digging and getting food. They lived in places with lots of grass and trees in North and South America. One of the most famous giant ground sloths was called Megatherium. It was very slow and ate plants. It was so big that its claws could grow as long as a ruler. Sadly, these giant ground sloths aren't around anymore. They disappeared a long time ago, probably because the weather changed and people hunted them. But scientists have found their bones in different parts of America, which helps them understand what life was like a long time ago. Sabertooth tiger? Sabertooth tigers, also known as Smilodon, were powerful, big cats that lived thousands of years ago. They were not actually tigers, but they were similar. What made them special were their really long, sharp teeth, which looked like big knives. These teeth helped them catch and eat their prey, which was usually other big animals like mammoths and bison. Saber-toothed tigers were really good hunters, and they lived in many different places, including parts of North and South America. They were strong and fast, which made them very good at catching their food. But just like the giant ground sloths, they disappeared a long time ago. Scientists think it was because the weather changed and the animals they hunted became scarce. Even though they're gone now, we can learn about them from the things they left behind, like their bones and fossils. The dire wolves. Dire wolves were impressive. Ancient predators that lived a long time ago, especially during the Ice Age. They were not like the wolves we know today, but they were similar. These wolves were big and strong with powerful jaws and sharp teeth. They used their sharp teeth to catch and eat other big animals like bison, horses, and even young mammoths. Dire wolves were skilled hunters and lived in different parts of North and South America. They traveled and hunted in packs, which made them very good at catching their prey. Their strong teamwork helped them survive in the wild. Sadly, just like the giant ground sloths and the saber-toothed tigers, they disappeared a long time ago. Scientists believe it was because their food became scarce and the weather changed. Even though they're not around anymore, we can still learn about them from the things they left behind, like their bones and fossils. Leviathan melvillei. Leviathan melvillei was an ancient, enormous, and powerful sea creature that lived millions of years ago. It was a type of prehistoric whale, but it wasn't like the whales we see today. This creature was one of the largest predators of its time, and it had massive jaws filled with gigantic, sharp teeth. Leviathan melvillei was a fearsome hunter who lived in the ocean. It hunted other big sea animals, including large fish and even other whales. Its size and strength made it one of the top predators in the ancient seas. Although it's not around anymore, scientists have been able to learn about Leviathan melvillei from the fossils they found. These fossils have helped them understand what life was like in the ancient oceans and how these amazing creatures fit into the underwater world of the past. Spinosaurus. Spinosaurus was an incredible ancient dinosaur that lived a very long time ago. It was one of the largest carnivorous dinosaurs ever known, and it had a really special feature: a sail-like structure on its back. This sail was probably used for things like temperature regulation or display. Sarcosuchus. Sarcosuchus, also known as the supercroc, was an enormous prehistoric crocodile that lived around 112 million years ago. It was one of the largest crocodile-like reptiles to have ever existed. It had a long and broad snout, and its powerful jaws were filled with huge, sharp teeth. Sarcosuchus was a massive predator that spent much of its time in rivers and swamps. It was a fearsome hunter, preying on large dinosaurs and other animals that came to drink water. Its size and strength made it a dominant force in its environment. Although it's no longer around, scientists have learned a lot about Sarcosuchus from the fossils they have discovered. Jacalopterus. Jacalopterus was an ancient sea scorpion that lived around 390 million years ago during the late Silurian period. It was one of the largest arthropods to have ever existed. Jacalopterus had a long segmented body and massive, powerful pincers. It could grow to be around 8.2 feet, 2.5 meters in length, making it a dominant predator in the waters it inhabits. This sea scorpion was a fearsome hunter, preying on various marine creatures. It lived in shallow waters and used its large pincers to catch and subdue its prey. Despite its intimidating appearance, Jacalopterus was not an ancestor of modern scorpions. It belonged to a different group of arthropods that have since gone extinct. Titanoboa. Titanoboa was a colossal, ancient snake that lived around 58 to 60 million years ago, shortly after the extinction of the dinosaurs. It is known to be one of the largest, if not the largest, snakes to have ever existed, with an estimated length of around 42 to 45 feet, about 13 meters, and weighing about 1135 kilograms, 2,500 pounds. Titanoboa was an apex predator in the tropical rainforests of South America during its time. This prehistoric snake was a constrictor, which means it coiled around its prey, suffocating it before swallowing it whole. Titanoboa's massive size allowed it to consume large animals, including crocodiles and giant turtles, making it one of the dominant predators in its environment. Although Titanoboa is now extinct, its discovery through fossils has greatly contributed to our understanding of the ancient ecosystems and the remarkable diversity of life that existed millions of years ago.